The Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge happened recently. It's the second round of the W2RC season, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to talk about it class by class. I'll talk about the championship standings for each class, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the bits that stood out as well. Starting off with the ultimate class, and oh my gosh, Seb Lowe just can't catch a break, can he? Crashed out on his birthday while competing for a scratch, and yeah, the 9-time World Rally Champion has left both rounds of W2RC this season empty-handed, both from crashes. Wasn't to be the same for his teammate in the Sand Riders though. Nasser Al-Attiyah ended up winning by 2 minutes and 28 seconds over Lucas Mirage, with Seth Quintero running out the podium. The two GR, DKR, Hilux Evos performing really well. As for the overdrive entries, wow. Engine issues plagued Yazin Al-Raji, dropped to 12th out of the top 10. Jacopina was the top in 4th place, but it wasn't a great fortune for the overdrive lot. Marat Gotzal had to withdraw for medical reasons. You saw an emotional Eric, who managed to pick up the stage the day after Marek had to retire from the event. Medical illness forced Matthias Ekstrom out on stage 4, but Mitch Guthrie managed to get a top 5. Second top 5 in many events. Really good for him because he's a relative rookie in the ultimate class. Elsewhere, good job to Demayview and Panseri for getting through. I know they had to super rally to get through. They had issues on the final day, but they teamed up quite well, especially because Panseri came in almost at the last moment. What's interesting is Panseri, who is co-driver to Demayview, was co-driver to Fernando Alvarez Castellano in the Dakar, and his next entry, according to EWRC, is going to be in a Citroen C3 Rally 2, where he is the co-driver for Adrian Van Beveren, of all people, in Rally 2K. PH Sport will be running an entry. Look forward to seeing how you'll do out on the stages there. But Panseri is somebody who I've seen around before because he was, for example, co-driver to Brion Bouffier. And danced around a few different scenes over the years as well. But yeah, it was a good bounce back for Al-Attiyah, wasn't it? And that's going to help him out with the championship standings, especially when you see, there's no Henkel Attigan, there's no extra at the end, and Al-Raji dropped out the top 10. Meanwhile, in the bikes, and it's 2 for 2 for Chucky Sanders. Ricky Brybeck was able to be second. Tosha Sharena was third, meaning that Sharena's got a double podium to start off this season. People that had different issues, Ross Branch lost his clutch on stage 2, for example, and Edgar Canet ended up crashing out at the end of the first stage, meaning that I believe he was advised to withdraw on medical grounds, and the teenage Dakar winner did not continue. In Rally 2, the win went the way of Michael Doherty, who apparently has switched over to Husqvarna from KTM. So it wasn't a double in Rally GP and Rally 2 for KTM in that case. That said, Konrad Dobrowski did quite well. Dobrowski is somebody who was 16th in the bikes and 7th in the Rally 2 on the Dakar. And yeah, was able to keep Doherty honest and slot himself between Doherty and Tobias Ebster, who is somebody else who's been really competitive on the Rally 2s this season. in the T3 SSVs, and Danielle Keel ended up taking the win. Really well done for her. This is her 4th year in the category. According to WRC, they don't have any entries for her outside of the Dakar when it comes to WRC. 2nd year with the Taurus T3 Max. And yeah, good job. Showed some potential in Dakar this year. But managed to take the win over Pau Navarro by 3 minutes 28 at the end of it all. Yes, Sedan was pushing hard towards the end, but it wasn't to be. 21.52 back, whilst Cavagliasso was forced down the order. 14-hour notional stage time penalty ended up costing massively there. I mean, in the end, him and Valentino de Pertigrani were going to be 4 hours off the pace, but it's not great to see for the Dakar champions. Likewise, Klassen ended up losing 35 hours because of penalties in the event. Would have had a similar sort of finishing position. But the SSV Championship battle remains quite tight. Enrico Gaspari was the person who took the win, and it was quite a convincing one. Nearly 2.5 hours over Michele Sinotto, and Alexandra Pinto was in 3rd place, 3 hours 14 back. But given that Pinto was the winner in the Dakar, it's not too much of a gap compared to Gaspari at the end of the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge, is it? Yeah, I also want to take a moment to talk about the overall broadcast. W2RC did a really good job. 25-minute highlights packages for every day. Was it 25 or 15? I know I was playing at a higher speed, so I think it was probably felt like 15, but was 25. Which meant that you had, like 2 hours worth of content presented by Mike Chen. So you had somebody who's involved in WRC, so it's a consistent kind of production. It was really cool to have. It's really nice to have those lengthier reports, because you didn't get it from the Dakar because, well, you couldn't. Eurosport have a bit more of a monopoly over that one. But it's cool to see stuff like that done in-house by the series, and I think that it shows that it is possible for the WRC to do it if there was funding behind it, or, no funding going towards the idea of keeping it behind a paywall. I thought it was nice to have that. We had interview sections. We had the drivers giving their own feelings, and we were able to look at the different stories over the course of the day. This is a 5-day event. It's not a 2-week event like the Dakar, but you're still able to look at all the different plot lines, all the different differences. That sounds weird for me to say. It's been a long day and a long week. At least I've got the weekend now. But I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Like, it was fun to follow the Dakar this year, and the Dakar's package is really good. This is different, and for a World Championship, it's the kind of thing you need as well. Like, I don't mind it's slightly different for the Dakar. The Dakar's a crown jewel. If W2RC is able to do the same thing for the Dakar, great. But if it's not, please do this for the rest of the events this year, because it's a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, folks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And, well, until next time, bye for now.